Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here again at the Advancement Center. And welcome back to my broadcast, Music for All. I've been away for a little while as there's been a lot of movement in my life, and it feels really good to be back. And as I didn't even sit, as I was doing other things, and I had to, and the preparation of the invitation was a task that was needing to be done. In the middle of doing other things and not thinking about it, the title came in for me very strong. All capital letters, nothing is as it seems from here on planet Earth. It came in very, very strong for me this week. In fact, it came in so strong, I had to ask Barbara this morning, was it too intense? Because there was a lot behind that. It was a declaration. There's a lot, excuse me. There's a lot behind that statement. We've said it. It's been said many times before. But for me personally, it runs much deeper and it's much more profound. And the depth comes from my own personal experience, especially when my behavior, my actions, I've also experienced very recently as being nothing is as it seems. Meaning I didn't see what I was doing. That's a very powerful moment to go from just doing what you do, being here in the world, and all of a sudden it gets brought to your attention in a very large way that something you're doing is not okay and you're completely oblivious to it. And it can be extraordinarily difficult, especially when you think you don't see it. But when that moment arrives, when the light goes on, your mind is blown, everything is blown. And it's just like you've gone through a tunnel at breakneck speed and come to the other side of something spectacular. So this is a very powerful day for me, as you can see. I wasn't expecting this. I had no idea what I was going to talk about today. So here it is. So there are so many aspects to what this is all about. So I'd love to share with you a new job I've started. I think I mentioned it. It may have been mentioned. A brand new 5-star hotel that's opened up like almost a stone's throw from my house here on the beach in beautiful Montecito, California, which is Santa Barbara, but it's the Shishi part of Santa Barbara. Anyway, it's a beautiful hotel. I've been retained there as a valet. It's really interesting because I've had a love of cars since I was born. My first word was Ford. And when I was a little girl, I had a whole collection of cars. So it's really pretty funny that here I am, valet, and the most amazing cars you've ever seen are showing up. And in fact, the house car of the hotel, I am one of the drivers, which is a brand new Rolls Royce. And speaking of the play, it's very interesting. But one thing I have to say, and I am going to refer to Robert, is Robert and David both reminded me in the most beautiful way to live in my origin, to live from my origin, always. And what happens down here, it's happening down here. But the real being who's in this body, performing these tasks, is just that. And the importance of not forgetting who I am, because it's incredibly easy to forget, which I have done. In fact, it just happened to me yesterday. When I created the invitation, it was shortly before I had to be at my work. And as I was saying, the power was very strong. It was very big. Felt like, oh my gosh, I hope that's not too strong, because it felt like my transmission was strong and in that invitation. So I went into work, and I have to say, I carried that with me. We'll try to put it into words. It was the power of who I am was there with me. It came in with me. It was a little bit overwhelming. Not overwhelming. It was like, whoa. It was palpable for me, just for me, my experience of my life. And it was a shorter shift than usual. I was only there for, I don't know, maybe 5 hours. But it was after I left that I observed that power, that majesty that I walked in with, I had let slip into the background over that 5 hours. So it's a really interesting thing just to watch how easy it can be to be sucked in to a world that's not mine. And even my body, my physical body, is sensitive and responding to the energy. So this is a brand new opening of a brand new hotel by someone, Mr. Caruso, who has never owned a hotel before, done a hotel before. It's a big deal. There's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of everything is about perfection. Surprise, I'm here. But there's so much writing on it that there's a lot of anxiety. And yet we're all trained very well to carry ourselves well, to have a smile on our face. So everyone does that and does it very well. And you can forget what's going on in the background. But my body didn't let me forget, because it has been taking on those energies. And I wasn't aware of that. And I got a really interesting confirmation yesterday. We're a dog-friendly hotel, which is pretty cool. We're right on the beach. We're dog friendly. And a woman came out and was waiting for her car. And my affinity with animals, for those of you that know me, and I went over to say hello to the dog. And the dog gave me that, no, not now, I can't. No, sorry, I'm too busy. Like, wouldn't even acknowledge my coming over. And the owner, the woman, was surprised. So I walked away for a moment, but I couldn't stay away. And then the dog started to shiver. And it wasn't particularly cold. And so this time I went over to him. His name was Cooper. And I just knelt down next to him. I put my arm around him and I just sat there and held him. He still didn't really acknowledge me, but he didn't mind. He didn't tell me to go away. And I knew in that moment, oh my gosh, those energies that Robert brought to my awareness, the dog is picking up on it as well. Really interesting. It's just amazing how everything shows up. Everything shows up in all kinds of forms, and nothing is as it seems. It was really interesting too, because when there were a lot of cars being brought up for different guests, and when the dog's owner's car came up, he knew immediately it was his car, which was pretty interesting to me too. He was like, oh, I can leave. Thank you. It was like that. So amidst all of this, I hope you can all feel it. There is something really, really amazing happening. Not only here on planet Earth, it's like it's actually happening everywhere. It's happening in the realms. It's happening in the outer reaches of the universe. And it's coming in to here, planet Earth, and it's restructuring everything. And it's bringing everything back to the way we knew it was to be. We came here for heaven on earth. And it was taken away from earth for thousands of years. And what an amazing time to be here right now, because we are getting it back. Heaven on earth. Is here. So whether or not you can see it, it really doesn't matter. It's in what you know. Pay attention to what you know. Not what you see, not what you hear, what you know, what you feel. Circumstances. Circumstances are things that are generated here on this physical plane. And when you stay connected to yourself, who you really are, you will see how insignificant these circumstances that often are right in your face really are. And I'm speaking from experience. I've lived for many years on magic and miracles. People that know me, that know I haven't had an income besides what we do here for several years. And honestly, I don't know how I'm still here, but I'm here. So when I say what I say, it's from personal experience. I'm not preaching something that I heard. This is my personal experience. And when you do have that experience of losing everything, what feels like losing everything, and you survive it, it changes you. And it's so interesting to see the other end, billionaires, people with loads and loads of money, and they don't have this. I see it every day. And every once in a while, you'll see someone who's absolutely miserable. They have money, they could rent out the entire hotel for a weekend for their wedding, and they're miserable. Wow, really? It's it's amazing. It's an amazing position I'm in. I know I'm here for a reason. Can't tell you what. I can't give you details. And for me, as it's always been, one of the biggest things in my life personally, what my life is about is personal connection with human beings, with living creatures, with animals, with everything. And so what I do here on planet Earth really doesn't matter. I'm just now getting that, in fact, as I'm saying this to you. I used to think that, oh, what I do, what my career choice is, matters. It doesn't. I know who I am. I know what I bring. There's a lot coming through. And it's an honor to be here and bring my gifts here. It is an honor for me. I knew this was going to be a big day when I sat down in this chair as the countdown was happening. I was literally, my hands were shaking. There was so much energy coming through me. I knew it was going to be big. I didn't know what that looked like. So through all of this, life has never been more beautiful to me. My family here at the Advancement Center, I've never appreciated them as much as I do now. And that includes you, every one of you that's on this broadcast today. We'll see it later. We'll see it a week, a month, a year, 100 years from now. That goes to you as well. I love you all. And I wish you all, always, a perfect life, perfect health, and an extremely magic future. Thank you.